Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, inside the StreamYard studios for another exciting interview. And today, I have someone who is, doing so incredible right now in the interviewing world right now, especially when it comes to interviewing so many incredible female fighters. She is someone who I am excited for. She's someone who I am, pretty much have the honor to get a chance to talk to. And, to me, she's someone who I believe should have the recognition that she deserves. She is someone who I believe should have the opportunity to be able to get a chance to do all these incredible interviews that she's been doing. In case you guys don't know, she is Miss Brittany from at Brawling Babes with Brittany, and if you guys want to get a chance to follow her on Instagram, make sure you guys get a chance to follow her right here at Brawling Babes with Brittany. To me, she's incredible. I'm surprised that she's not getting all the recognition, the attention, everything that she's doing right now. She's just killing it right now. I'm just really excited to get a chance to have her on here because to me, she's been doing so much interviews. She's been doing so many interviews right now, and to me, I'm just really excited. I'm really glad that she gets a chance to have the opportunity. We were supposed to do this last Tuesday, but due to my depression, my mental health, um, I had to reschedule to tonight. So, guys, it's gonna be 1 second. Hopefully, she can get a chance to join me. If hopefully she'll oh, never mind. So I think we're all good from here. But real quick though, I do want to send a shout out to Miss Erica. In case you guys don't know Erica, she pretty much is making these incredible essential oils, and she just got out of surgery and she's recovering. So Erica, if you're watching this, thank you for the essential oils. And if you guys want to get a chance to check out your own essential oils, make sure you guys can hit her up at underscore Erica on Instagram. Tell her about these, and trust me, these essential oils are incredible. So shout out to Erica and thank you so much for sponsoring these interviews. Really do appreciate you. But now, all the hype, all the attention, it's about time because to me, please help me welcome. She is the tatted queen. She is the interviewing queen. She is Miss Brittany. Hello?
Hi!
Hey, how's it going, girl?
Hey, that was
How are
an intro
you?
I have yet to hear. Thank you for that.
Hey, you're very welcome, and I gotta say, thank you so much for taking time out of what's been a very busy week. How you been doing?
Man, I stay busy. If I'm resting, I'm rusting. So, you know, I love talking to female fighters. I love, everything about combat sports. So I like to stay busy with this. You know what I mean? It's been a dream and an idea in the back of my head for a long time, and to finally bring it to fruition has been beautiful, and I've been blessed.
Yeah, and what? Something I really do admire for is like the amount of interviews you've been doing. I mean, you had an interview with Lauren Garcia, Luba Mateo, and just now, not too long ago, you had an interview with Crystal Pittman, talking about she was the one that talked about her bare knuckle fight against Courtney Cameron coming up in October. How was that interview?
That was incredible. So I'm not gonna lie, like I'm good friends with both of these girls, so I kind of might have known that was in the works, or might have known that a contract was signed, but I knew not to say anything until the company said something, and rightfully so. And I had looked on their website a couple of probably 2 days ago, trying to get an update on the Monroe card and then to see if they had announced anything else on the Denver event. And we're talking about BKFC here, of course.
Yeah.
And there really wasn't much other than the Doolittle and Richmond fight on there. And so when I got back on there because I couldn't remember one of Crystal's opponent's last names, once my brain gets going, I am a face person, not a name person. So if I screw up somebody's name, it literally slips me. The second you say it, it's like, and it's gone. You know what I mean? But I'll remember your face and I'll see you in the grocery store and I'll be like, oh my God, how are you? So good to see you. You know what I mean? That's just the kind of person I am. And so anyways, I was looking back up Crystal's opponents, and then I was like, oh, holy shit, they announced it. Holy shit, they announced it. Holy shit, they announced it. So it was pretty fucking awesome to be able to, and Courtney, I
Cameron.
did, yeah, Courtney Cameron. I did confirm with her. She talked to her manager, Scott Farley, and Scott gave the clear for Courtney to go ahead and share things and announce things. Since it was on the BKFC app and on their website, listed under the Denver card. So literally they must have just posted it yesterday or today even. I couldn't tell you, but I was very grateful to be able to drop that kind of news for the community, and for the athletes too, because they're, you know what I mean, they've got all this built up anxiety and excitement over this bout, and they're just ready to start promoting it, you know what I mean? So I love helping in that aspect. So it was a really great interview. I love Crystal. I love her energy. I could just sit there and talk to her and laugh all night long. She is great.
Well, I hopefully I get a chance to have my interview with her, hopefully. But Crystal and Courtney, if you guys are watching this, because I know you guys are really huge supporters for both myself and Miss Brittany. Keep killing it. It's going to be an incredible fight, and that is going to, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that's going to be on the Carissa versus Paige card. That's happening around that time, isn't it?
So, Teresa Sagala just fought Britain
Brittany.
Hart Beltran. So that she will not be cleared to fight for the October 15th event in Denver. They don't have Paige listed on the card yet. They don't have Paige with an upcoming to be announced opponent yet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's kind of up in the air, but I would assume Sharissa is not cleared medically for such a quick turnaround. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
even with minimal injury, there's at least a 6 week turnaround. You know what I mean? Let your body heal and rest and stuff. So I don't think Charisse is going to be on there. It would be great to see another female fight on there, whether it be Paige or I was talking to um, Crystal, who had fought Jade Mason Wong in the
Yeah.
BKFC. And I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly because it's a French name, and she's all kinds of badassery. So I apologize, Jade. Excuse my dumb Americanism, but she's a fucking phenomenal fighter. I would love to see her fight live too. Like, holy cow, she's gonna do some damage to that division, and I wonder if that's why the BKFC is not benching her, but you know what I mean, hasn't kept her as active as they've kept some of the others.
Yeah, and
But
I think, yeah, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting
no, you're not interrupting. I was just kind of done, just kind of linger. You know what I mean,
you.
trailing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the last time we really saw Mason Wong, and once again, my apologies on the butcher, was against Christine Vicens at
Uh huh.
On Knucklemania 2, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Vicens that got the victory.
Yep.
So we haven't seen both these two in quite some time, ever since Knucklemania 2.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe we might get a chance to finally see both these two, maybe have a rematch, or if Jade's going to finally step back in there. 'Cause, I mean, it has been for quite some time. I know if you look through Jade's social media, that she's been eager, she's been preparing, she's been training. I mean, she's waiting for bare knuckle to say, "Hey, whatever fight you have in front of me, just bring it. It doesn't matter who. I mean, just bring it." You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you know who I think would make a good fight is Paige and Jade. I think
Yeah.
that would be a slugging fight for sure.
I mean, to me, I feel like, and this is something I kind of notice about Paige Van Zandt is that, I admire her for doing what she's doing for Bare Knuckle, but to me, is like when she's been busy doing stuff for AEW and doing stuff for her husband and all that, it kind of gets a lot of things distracted her in quite some way. And I really feel like with Paige, it's just, don't get me wrong, Paige is a great fighter. She truly is. But there comes a time where you have to stop, your distractions. I mean, your husband, I understand that because he's doing his own thing as well. But
Mm-hmm.
it's another thing, to try to be able to join a company and say, "Hey, I want to do this." I mean, we haven't seen Paige give herself a win. She's 0-2 at the moment, and I was hoping to get a chance. I think myself, you, and many others that's watching this right now would hope to get a chance to see her fight before the end of the year.
Right, you would hope. And a Denver card makes sense because it's not far from, where she trains. And she's ready and due for another bout, and I think she would like to leave bare knuckle, obviously, with a win. If she chooses to stay, even better. But I do think she would rather, take this route with her husband, and you know what I mean. It just seems like that's something that they kind of want to do together. This AEW thing, which whatever, more power to them. But I would love to see her fight again before the end of the year too. I think a Jade Mason Wong fight with her would make sense. And I think even the Vison's fight with Paige would make sense. Both tough opponents and would put on a slugging, bout.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And one thing I definitely want to admire for you is that, when I first talked to you, I love how sincere, how genuine, how sweet you are. And when I saw how many followers you got, it really blows my mind because consider the fact that you put so much hard work and effort. And by the way, if you guys have not got a chance to follow her, go hype her Instagram up, go hype her social media page up at Brawling Babes with Brittany because I watched her interviews. She just sent me a small TikTok interview of her and Crystal's interview. Phenomenal stuff. And I gotta get a chance to ask you, we all get inspired by doing the things that we do. For us, it's interviewing. To the fighters, it's fighting. But what inspired you to start doing interviews?
So, well, and I'll break it all the way down for you. I've been a long time fan of combat sports since I was probably in middle school. I was watching a MMA fight where a guy picked up the other guy, dropped him on the ground. Guy on the ground kicks the other guy in the face. Homie on the street, like I was raised kind of in the hood on the street. That's attempted murder right there. I was in love from that moment on. You know what I mean? So from that moment on, I, just kind of casually, very casually followed combat sports, but a little bit of boxing, a little bit of MMA, a little bit of UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and then I decided in 2020 I wanted to start a small business. I was bored, needed something to film what little bit of extra time I can manage.
Yeah.
Um, and my husband had the great idea to, use the small business, and instead of investing in advertising, and paying Facebook essentially for advertising ads, to pay athletes and to sponsor fighters. And I was like, that's a fantastic idea. Holy shit. So I've sponsored Britain and Joey Beltran, Hero, the Quentin Henry. Um, who else? Bobo O'Bannon, um, Angela Lee of the UFC, the KGB Lee. So, I grew with the bare knuckle and the world of combat sports, starting in that sense. And I will say, like, I did get a little reputation for myself. You're calling me a sweetheart and I love you for that, but the bare knuckle community knows me as the asshole because I am the one who says the things that other people won't say, or no might be true, but you know what I mean? Like, nobody has the balls to say it necessarily. And you know what I mean? I'll call a spade real fucking quick. And if you're doing dirty work, I'm going to call you on dirty work too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I would want the same done to me. Like, if you think I've done you wrong, like, call me on that because I want to make it right. Like, that's just the kind of person I am. And so I, would sign off in these only hands groups and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Just to ruffle the feathers, as the asshole with a little crazy face emoji. So so I got a little bit of a reputation being the asshole, and it all really started with, and this is where I'm going to answer your question.
Yeah.
It all really started with and I'm not going to name drop, but I was working um, a little bit with the Knuckle Up podcast, the Knuckle Up Media, with Clay Teal, Sean Ulrich, Juan. They're all great guys, phenomenal dudes. They do really good work in the industry of bare knuckle. Um, and they love the sport and they know their shit, man. They know it. through and through. Nothing but love for them. I have no hard feeling. Like, I'll talk shit to Sean still and be like, "Oh, it's because you fired me," which I like. It was a common like release thing. Anyways, long story short, I called out a fighter who used an inappropriate quote from another fighter to talk shit to a fan, um, and the quote was insinuating uh, harm towards women and children. And so I called that fighter on that. I was like, "Yo, this is not okay." Like, and for anybody who's still gonna stand behind this dude, like, that's not okay. And because I was associated with media, the management company of that fighter at the time was like, "Yo, you either need to get her gone or we're gonna come sue you." And rightfully so, being a new podcast, they were like, "Yo, we don't want to get sued." So I was like, "Dude, I'm like, no hard feelings. Like, I already told you guys, like, I'm the one that will, like, I get from here to here. At times there's minimal filter. So
Yeah.
things just come out. And I get that, you know what I mean? Like, my feelings aren't hurt, their feelings aren't hurt. I still talk to Sean Ulrich um, frequently on the weekly, quite honestly. He's my homie, my donut loving bestie. and and so that's kind of what sparked my interest. I actually was able to go work an event, the bare knuckle, I think it was 17, where they were in Birmingham, Alabama. um,
So yeah.
I was able to go down and work the event with those guys and help get them some live coverage, and it was just an awesome experience, and I fucking loved it, man. And I've always seen and felt a real lack of presence from females in the world of combat sports, whether that be fighters, promoters, matchmakers, referees, commentators. You know what I'm saying? Judges, commissioners, all the way around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it stems from BC days, right? Like, women have been oppressed since the beginning of time in this sense. And I'm not like, I am woman, hear me roar, but fuck, man, it's 2022. Like, why is there not an all female card other than Invicta twice a year, 3 times a year? You know what I'm saying? Like, I am here for the women of combat. And that, again, goes for all of them across the board. In starting Brawling Babes with Brittany, I've gotten to talk to some really fucking incredible people. Tammy Stone, who grew up with her father, as a coach and a mentor and a business partner, and grown this empire, with him, and now learning how to navigate without him, and learning her story, and learning the story of all these women, like a lot. 9 out of 10 of these women in combat, a lot of the fighters specifically, have had some way, shape, or form of abuse in their life, and this has channeled that energy into something positive now, and it's beautiful to watch people grow and evolve as humans through this sport. And I was going to say through this violent sport, and there is a level of violence, but there's a level of respect too, obviously. And I got a lot of hate on one of my Facebook accounts from a lady who because I'm a ring announcer too for a local boxing promotion here in Denver, and in my opening I say, I'm 10 men have been chosen, or are set to fight, 20 match, 10 matches, 20 men, whatever, have been set to fight, and I thank you for choosing violence as your passion and your outlet and your way of life. And without further ado, blah, 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 right? And so the lady comes for me for saying violence. And I see her point, because there is a huge level of control, respect, precision, skill, all of those things. But there is a level of violence too in all combat sports. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you're never going to change my mind on that. Like, You're like, I don't. You're never gonna change my mind on that. So I've had fun like teasing back at her and stuff like that. Which again, the asshole, I'll never die.
I
So,
gotta ask, I gotta ask this though, real quick. I mean, you haven't been to Facebook jail yet, have you?
only once, only once, and it was only like a 24-hour ban.
Oh my Lord, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
but I've learned the loopholes very quickly. You know what I mean? Like when I type out the word violence, I change the letter I into an exclamation, and the letter O into a zero, so it still looks like the word violence, but it's altered. You know what I mean? There's
I mean,
loopholes for all of these meta bullshitteries.
that's wild. That is just wild right there. I mean, like, and I will tell you this, so I love that you're just being yourself. I love the fact that you're being yourself and you just don't give two fucks at all. I mean, my apologies for the language, but the thing is, I love that about you. I mean, when you told me about, the bare knuckle world calling you an asshole, I'm like, you don't look like the type of person that would be an asshole, but yet you're just like, you're more like a tagged angel. It's like, oh,
It's true though. I am the asshole, but I have the biggest heart and I want nothing but greatness for people, but you got to want it for yourself too. Like I said, like if you're going to go out there and run amok on the streets and then come in and pretend to be somebody else in the ring, like fuck you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a human too. Just because you're a fighter doesn't mean you're not a human and shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? And same for me. Like, yeah, I have zero fucks left to give. Like, you're right, 100%. And I don't know how to be anybody else but me. There's nothing else. This is as good as it gets. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah. One thing I definitely do admire, and this is something that I understand from your point of view, is like whenever you spend time talking to a fighter, especially a female fighter, is that you understand the stories. I mean, you understand the abuse, you understand the facts, the sacrifices they put in, especially the losses that they have. And to me, there's been a couple of stories, a couple of interviews where I got a chance to do, and the Britain Beltran interview, I've done two of those with her, and they've been incredible. It's really jaw dropping when we hear these stories. Another one too, and I gotta send her a shout out, Sandra Arndt, Sandra, who lost her mother due to cancer, and the fact that she's battling, the fact that she's being a strong woman that she is for not only for herself but for her little girl, and it's just really makes such a huge difference. And one thing I love about you is that you put so much effort, you put so much hard work, you do so much for these interviews, and that to me, I really do admire you from, especially from an interview standpoint, because I've been doing this for almost about a year now. I think it was like back in December, my very first interview, which surprisingly enough, it wasn't even on here, but it was at the Jay and Trey podcast that I was a part of at the time. And I remember I was like, I really want to get a chance to do some interviews because they do interviews with people from like football and basketball and baseball and all that stuff. I'm like, why don't I just step things up? Why don't I just shake things up a bit? So I remember I messaged Tara Starling before, I think it was after her last fight against Hannah Guy, and I'm thinking to myself, what would it take for Taylor to join me and a couple other guys to join this interview, my first ever actual interview, my interview with, besides the other two, which it was their first time, and they didn't even know what bare knuckle was. They were like, "Who? What?" I'm like, "Do me a favor," and I literally sent them the interview between her and Sharissa, the fight of the year, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call. It's like, "Oh my gosh, she's incredible! You booked her in," and to me, it's like after that, I just started to fall in love doing interviews, and to me it's more than just sitting here talking to people. It's the stories, it's the conversations, it's the understanding, and at times, and I'll even admit this, like these stories will sometimes shatter your heart, and you just feel bad for them, like you just want to tear them up for them because you wouldn't expect to see someone go through so much hell. And that's the beauty about these interviews that I can say me you both have done is that we notice how hard these fighters work to become the best at what they do. Whether if you're in boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, bare knuckle, it doesn't matter because all these ladies, I mean, all these ladies deserve the respect they deserve, and that's something I really do admire you for. And I have a surprise for you at the end of this interview, so you definitely want to stay tuned after this. But trust me, you're going to love it. But to me, it's like we all have our ups, but in this case, sometimes we have our downs. What's been the most struggling thing you've had to face while doing these interviews?
The time it takes away from my family. 100%. And don't get me wrong, like I I don't necessarily get paid to do this, but I was able to obtain sponsorships, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
without that, like without the team behind me and believing in me and having that like extra fire under my ass, like I don't know that I would be pushing as hard as I am every week. Like I try to do at least 2 a week and I'm exceeding that. You know what I mean? That was my goal going into this. Okay, so I have Mondays and Tuesdays off of my regular job, right? Where I'm the assistant manager for a warehouse liquor store. I deal with over, over $400,000 worth of product in a week. And so I've got the stress of that on my shoulders too, you know what I'm saying? And a staff of 8 people that I got to deal with there. On top of being a mom myself, I've got 2 little girls, you know what I'm saying? So going to school, getting hair done, getting clothes out, getting lunches made, you know what I mean? Keeping up with laundry, keeping up with the floors, keeping all of the things, you know what I'm saying? Like without my team behind me, like I probably would have slacked up on this a little bit on myself. And I'm grateful to have the team so I don't lose momentum. You know what I mean? Like I have people relying on me, people I am trying to make proud.
yeah.
And so you know what I'm saying? And so that's a little bit of an extra push and momentum to me. Um but it's the time away from my family, you know what I mean? Like right now my girls are up at grandma and grandpa's, you know what I mean? It's the weekend, whatever. Like this is no big deal, you know what I'm saying? And I try to do Monday and Tuesday interviews. Those are my days off of my regular job while the kids are at school. That's when I can knock out, a couple during the day after I get my chores done in the morning, like that kind of thing, but a lot of people want like a Saturday or Sunday night kind of thing, and it's like, man, like sure I'm off of work at 6:30, but you know what I'm saying? Like I want to go home, have dinner with my family. I want to sit and cuddle my kids and listen to how their day was cuz I just spent the whole damn day at work. So it's the extra time away from my family that is the biggest struggle for me. So in some sense, like I almost want to incorporate my kids, and maybe start, having uh but then it's like the distraction and so it's all just a big, who knows. It's evolving. I'm new. I'm a baby show. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate any and all help and shares and follows and likes and interactions, obviously. And
Yeah. And
I'm really, like I said though, I'm just here to help get these girls' stories out, like, and to help spread awareness of the community within the communities across the nation and across the world. I've talked to people in the UK, I've talked to people in Australia, you know what I'm saying? Like it's an incredible thing to be able to connect with other humans, over a passion for violence. I love it.
it is so incredible. And before I even continue, I definitely got to say this, and I know you've not been told this, but you probably have. But I am proud of you. I am so so proud of you because
Yeah.
I understand what it's like, especially when it comes to taking the time away. Because to me, I'm a cashier, I'm a bagger, and also I'm a broadcaster for a video game league on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And trust me, that takes a lot of time, but And I know a couple of them are watching right now, but if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do interviews like I'm doing, because that just like doing like even like the smallest things can help you in the biggest ways. Because I've been doing this for, I can say, about 4 or 5 years, and they have helped me develop myself as a broadcaster, as a interviewer. Because the more I get a chance to talk about the stories, the more I get a chance to talk about what's happening, the more that I feel comfortable with just be able to do these interviews and sharing the stories that you're pretty much doing right now. And I understand being busy, trust me, I understand that completely. But the one thing I love about you, and this is why I wanted you to be a part of this for so long, to get a chance to have this interview, is because you never gave up. You always keep working your ass off on these interviews. I've watched a bunch of them, and once again, guys, go and follow Brittany, because it's more than just taking time away from kids. It's the sacrifices that she puts to make these interviews what it is today. And if you guys are not going to shoot the ball this, I'm going to hype it up for the second time. I don't care how many times I'm going to do this. Go and follow her at Brawl and Babes with Brittany. She is doing so good. And it's just like, not only that, but something I've always thought about this is that these interviews, sorry, West Virginia allergies. Anyways,
It's okay.
these interviews have helped us get better and get better. And not only that, but it's also helped us in a mental way. In case you guys don't know what this month is, it is Suicide Prevention Month. And this has been a pretty much a tough time for all of us mentally. Myself, I'm not afraid to admit that. But, and talk about this in a mental way. How much has the interviews helped you out in so many ways? How much has it helped you out mentally?
Honestly, it helps with my confidence. I struggle with anxiety, depression, PTSD, and body dysmorphia. And I have social anxiety as well. So, like, I was in an interview with Hastings Kickboxing Academy. Really great people, Carl Denny and Jenny Fry, and beautiful, beautiful people doing amazing things over in the UK. And for whatever reason, my anxiety was getting me, and it's so bad. Like, I don't even want to like show people, but I tear at my fingers. I rip them to shreds. I bleed. They're sore that like I can't touch things sometimes. They get so bad. That and my lip too sometimes. Um, you'll see me fidgeting or like, you know what I'm saying? So
You're good.
it helps with my confidence. I will say that. It gives me a reason to get my ass up and put on some fucking makeup and feel good and feel pretty about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, COVID got me. You know what I mean? I'm thicker than a Snicker. I used to be going to the gym like 5 days a week, watching what I ate really good. Now I'm like, all right, it's good. It's thick. We're here. We're doing it. You know what I mean? So at least I'm still like, because I come from a cosmetology background too, where like self image is overly important to an
Yeah.
extent. So you know what I'm saying. So at least I'm still having that balance, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
With getting myself presentable to the world while still being thicker than a Snicker.
Well, I can tell you this, though, it's like thanks to COVID, I end up, looking like a patchy caveman with a Snorlax like belly. So I am afraid to admit that. I mean, but to me, it's like this is the way I feel about it. It's like, and this is something that I've always learned from my mom is that you don't need makeup just to be beautiful. It's
No.
your personality that should help you realize that, hey, you are fucking beautiful. To me, it's just looks may be important, especially from you, especially when it comes to the cosmetology, standpoint of view. To me, it's like you don't have to put on a makeup just to be beautiful. You don't have to like, have your hair down just to be beautiful, because the way you are, the way that you are in general, just should be able to defy your beauty. I mean, it's kind of like a Rihanna's forehead joke, shine bright like her forehead type of moment.
Right. Yep.
But
I got that kind of moment right now.
I
Shine
think
bright like a diamond.
I think mine is at the moment as well. So trust me, I know exactly.
Listen, we're all human and we're all just on this big rock floating around in space. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's all fucking insignificant. I'm not
Yeah.
here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that's how I got to look at life and how I got to look at every day, you know what I mean? Try to make the world a better place one day at a time.
Yeah. And something that I really do admire is that, from interviewers like Jared Parker to Zaria to Lisa Solar, is that you guys worked your ass off to be able to provide these interviews, to be where you are, to make the platform. And I gotta say to all of them that I just mentioned, shout out to y'all and of course to you. And to me, what blows my mind is, how much hard work and effort you put in, how much you have sacrificed yourself to be able to say, hey, let's make this interview happen because these interviews are just more than just sit down talk, but to me it's just get a chance to know someone, especially from a fighter standpoint of view. It's like you have so much to learn. It's more than just going to a cage and fight. It's sacrificing yourself to become the best in and outside the cage, especially when it comes to the training. And since we talked about how much mentally this has helped us, to me, this has helped us in so many ways. To me, I have depression, I have anxiety. I mean, I pretty much pick my fingernails for no apparent reason. That's how bad my anxiety can be. But to me, it's just it helps me get a chance to make the platform for what I've been doing. The reason why I'm almost up to 6K on Instagram, because I see so much potential in these ladies that they deserve the opportunity, and that's why you as well, you deserve the opportunity to have your followers skyrocket to the roof. Because one thing I will say is that as long as you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to go into places that you have worked your ass off for. Because to me, it's just one interview may be great, but as long as you keep doing this consistency, great things are coming your way. Great things are coming your way, and I definitely do see that in you. And I definitely have a little bit of announcement as far as next week. So next Saturday, I want to do a full podcast, especially with everything that we've seen from the fighter side, and I need a co-host. So I was wondering to you there, Miss Brittany, would you like to join me for this very special episode next Saturday night?
So next Saturday, I'm gonna have to pass. It's my daughter's birthday on
Oh, that's
Tuesday.
right.
We're having the party on Saturday, so I am gonna have to pass on Saturday.
All
I
right.
am really sorry. I am really grateful for the opportunity, but keep in touch with me if you need co-hosts for future
Oh
interviews.
yeah.
Keep me posted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because to me, it's just you're more than just one person. Because I really feel like that you and the personality and the way that your knowledge to this fighting world, we can definitely, I myself can definitely use a co-host. So we'll definitely get a chance to have something special for y'all in the near future. And
Awesome.
there's something that I've always wanted to get just to know about, and I'm gonna put you on the spot for this. I'm gonna
Okay,
put you on the spot for this.
bring it.
It, is that we all want to be recognized for something, especially when it comes to this industry. We want to get a chance to be recognized for having the best interviews, for having the best communication with these fighters. But what's something you want to be recognized during your times in interviewing?
Um, so it's actually not for interviewing. I want I want to if my long-term like big goal for this is to kind of be the next like it ring announcer and it commentator. I want to be like the next fucking Bruce Buffer. I'm coming for your job. You know what
Bruce,
I mean? Like
hey,
even Invicta uses a man for a ring announcer. There is not a ring announcer female that I have seen with the energy that I have in the ring. And I that's where I want to be. Like don't get me wrong, I love this world and I love everything about the podcasting and the all like that comes with it, but ring announcing and being live and in the ring or in the cage, that's where it's the most fun for me.
Well, hey, as far as Bruce Buffer, if I was him, I'd be holding on dear life to that little bow tie he always wears, and think about it because his job might end up being gone because I can tell how passionate you are as far as the announcing. You kill it, and if you guys want to get a chance to go follow her, I mean, Joe, it's simple at Brawl and Babes with Brittany. I understand you have a personal account that I know you want to get a chance to share. Which, if anybody wants to get a chance to follow you outside of these interviews, do you want to share that or?
Yeah, that's fine. You can follow me on Instagram. I am just plain Brittany 303. Um, there might not be the 303. I can't remember what accounts have the 303. Like my TikTok is just plain Brittany as well, but it might have 303. It might not because I'm in the Denver area. Anyway, it's all three words: JustPlainBrittany. And then with or without the 303, you'll be able to find me. And that's on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, Bruce Buffer ain't got shit on my bow tie. I have like a rhinestone bow tie and a rhinestone necktie that I use.
I love that. I
It's
love
fucking awesome. I bring bling to the ring.
bringing bling to the ring. And that's the final thing Britt Buffer could do. And
Not
since you
uh-uh.
talk about these since you talk about hang on a second. I think Quick says it has the 303. LOL.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike. You rock.
So pretty much, just you talk about the Denver area. I'm assuming you get a chance to root for those Broncos every Sunday, right?
Of course, I we are season ticket holders in my house. Yep.
Well, hey, I'm not going to complain about that because even though, considering the fact that I do root for Pittsburgh, I definitely say if y'all end up losing to the Texans or even tie with the Texans tomorrow, there's something wrong with that team. I just hope.
Listen, it's, I don't want to talk about it because the way we performed against the Seahawks, I just don't want to talk about it right now. Uh,
I
it's
mean,
very tense in my house. Okay.
oh
No,
man,
my husband and his cousin are gonna be at the game tomorrow. They'll be able to be there live while I'm slaving away to the grind. I'll be holding down the liquor store. But no, it's my normal shift anyway, so I'm glad they're gonna get to go and have a good time. It'll be an interesting game, that's for sure.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that, and I'm not gonna. I mean, you pretty much have it compared to me because we ended up losing our best defensive tackle, our left end, and of course we lost our running back. So yeah, T.J. Watt's gonna be out for a great 6 weeks, and Najee Harris. I hope to dear God he plays tomorrow because we got the Patriots. So
Oh boy.
yeah, yeah.
Good luck.
I will tell you this though, and now move on. Is that when that game happened between them and the Bengals? Oh my gosh, I was an emotional roller coaster between
Oh
the
yeah.
missed field goals, between the turnovers. Oh my gosh, it's like this team's already killing me. It's week one. It's
Yeah.
week one we're talking about here.
That's yep, exactly. Yep. That's the way us Bronco fans are feeling. Starting with our week one, that was pretty rough. So we're looking for a W tomorrow, for sure.
I mean, pretty much, hey, you gotta say Broncos country, let's ride, right? And
Yep. Yep.
so Wilson was using the same hand signals he did in Seattle. They knew what was going to do. He was going to do at halftime. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that in some other time because I do believe y'all should have the win over the Houston Texans. So,
Yeah, I think
but
so too. I hope so.
so outside of these interviews, you mentioned you do a lot of ring announcing. How fun is it for you to get a chance to do the ring announcing, especially with as much hard work and effort that you've been putting into it?
It's a blast. I love it. Shout out to Clay Teal. He and Big Mo and my promoter Steve Mestis. They are the ones that got my foot in the door. Clay Teal is a part of the Knuckle Up Media crew. He was having his debut boxing fight, and it happened in Cheyenne, Wyoming for Airtight Boxing. Um, and I asked Clay, I was like, listen, this is your first fight ever. Like, I want to ring announce. You're the ring boy going into the ring. Like, come on, man. And he was like, all right, yeah, I'm down, whatever, if you can make it happen. So we called the promoter. My husband is, used to fight for this promoter too, and so we've been longtime friends with him. Um, I mean, Steve Mestis is known nationwide though, so it is what it is. Anyways, he calls him up, and I asked him. I said, I just want the one fight. I don't need anything. You know what I mean? Let me just have Clay's fight. That's it. And I got out there and I did it and I loved it and I was nervous as shit and I stumbled over my words and it was fucking awful, but I loved it. You know what I mean? And you know, after that I never thought twice about it. I was like, all right, I got my one, I'm done, you know what I mean? I was just, running my mouth, talking my shit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take over, I'll be Bruce Buffer one day, blah blah blah. I just got the one fight, I'm good, you know what I mean? Like, didn't really think it was gonna go much further. Cool if it does, cool if it doesn't, kind of situation, you know what I mean? And then Steve made a post on Facebook and he said, I need a ring announcer for ABCD EFG date. And I immediately messaged. I didn't bother even commenting. I said, you don't need a ring announcer, I'm right here. And he said, right on. And we've been riding strong ever since. We worked a little bit through COVID. I've been working with him since 2020, end of 2020 into 2021. And now we're closing out 2022 strong, where we've got an event on the 21st of October. He did like 3 events in August, so that's why he took the whole month of September off. And coming back end of October, nice big card lining up on BoxRec. You can look it up. Here in Denver, so that's always a nice huge crowd. Always brings a lot of good energy, a lot of good bodies in, you know what I mean? Like, Denver is a boxing, it's not just MMA here. So it's always a good scene. It's always a lot of fun. I love it.
I love how happy you are to get a chance to talk about this because you have so many dreams, you have so many things you want to get a
Oh
chance to
yeah.
accomplish that you just mentioned, and I hope that you get a chance to have your announcing debut in the UFC, Invicta, or even do commentary because
I want
I
to do
see.
Invicta, man. Like, I Invicta came to Denver. I gave Shannon Knapp my card. I was like, yo, I don't know why you got a dude in there. Here's my card. I didn't say it like that, but that's essentially what I meant. And I was shaking like a fucking rattler's tail the whole time. Here's my card,
Oh
my
my God,
sweet.
you
You know
didn't.
what I'm saying? Nervous as shit, Cue my anxiety. Let me just not throw up in this moment. Thank you. But I mean, it's great because, like, even driving to an event, to a boxing event, or um, up in Wyoming or here, it doesn't matter where it is. I only get nervous on the drive there. Once I'm there, I'm good. I'm calm. I'm home. You know what I mean? Like, the nerves are gone. It just feels natural. I don't know. I've always been an entertainer, performer of some kind, though.
To me, I kind of wish there was things like that here in West Virginia because, don't get me wrong. I mean, to anyone that represents West Virginia that's watching this, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nothing bad about the state. It's just, to me, there's only like certain types of tournaments, boxing events. We have the King of the Mountain State, we have the Tough Man, and of course, the infamous Rough and Rowdy Brawl that you'll see on Barstool Sports. And how that came up was Rough and Rowdy has had events, quite some time. It all started in a little town next to me called Welch, and ever since then, Barstool Sports says, why don't we just get just a bunch of rednecks to just go in there and just fight and then, make hype up videos. And to me, don't get me wrong, I love the publicity for West Virginia. It gives great attention, but it's these little promos that they put on that kind of makes West Virginia look really bad, especially if it's like, these hicks with like the 1-2, chugging down a beer just to do a promo type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, I really wish there would be opportunities because I think the last time there was even an event here in West Virginia, an MMA event, and this is a true story, but it was at a town in Beckley, and I don't know if you've seen this video. It went viral whenever this happened, but someone literally shit in a cage after they got kicked in the stomach.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
So,
happens, man. Like, I remember watching a girl, I couldn't tell you who it was, but I remember watching a girls fight. I want to say it was either Invicta or UFC, and they were grappling on the ground, and she had such a tight hold on her stomach that she shit herself.
oh no.
Yeah, it happens, man. It You just push right on those organs, you can lose control.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It sucks, man, but it fucking, and that's why I'm not a fighter.
That's why I'm gonna stick to interviews and focus on what I'm
Right?
doing
Like,
right
I
now.
don't want to get hit in the face. Don't get me wrong. I've put the gloves on and gotten angry at the bag, you know what I mean? Just to get that energy out. But no, No, I'm good.
I mean, I've had those MMA gloves on, back when I was in like middle school because I got bullied at the time, and this was like the only gym that happened in Wyoming County. And the thing was is that when it comes to making a team for such a small county, you can expect great things because whenever I went over there, I didn't even know what MMA was. I didn't know what all the stuff I learned. But to me, it was like this great escape. It was a great escape for me. Like I bullied at the time, it was a great escape because it helped me get a chance to learn self defense and so many other ways. And if you are watching this right now, and if you have not got a chance to experience a MMA gym, boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, you name it, go and experience it. Because I'm telling you this, though, from all of our perspectives, is that it is so incredible. It is so unique, especially for those who fight depression and anxiety. I can't stress this enough. And I talk about this in every interview that I talk about, is that the people that you talk to, they meet, may not know you, but they will understand you so many ways that they'll treat you more like a family than your own family. So if you guys have not got a chance to give us a try, especially on a month such as Suicide Prevention Month, go give it a try. I'm telling you, you'll be free. You'll see yourself change in so many ways that you wouldn't even expect yourself to see.
Agreed.
Very well. Of course, the last thing I want to get a chance to talk to you about is that you have been doing so many interviews. You have potentially a lot more coming. Do you have any idea on who we could be seeing as far as at Brawling Bays with Brittany?
So, Monday I have, she's not on social media. Excuse me, and I don't have my lister or all their background and info in front of me, but Monday starting at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, wherever that is for you in the world, you figure that out. I'm in Mountain Time, so that's where I go off of.
That
Otherwise, my
is
brain is going to get lost.
so pretty much it'll be if it's one, it'll be 3 p.m. Eastern time because we're
Yeah.
only 2 hours behind.
Yep. You're 2 hours behind. Yeah, behind me, ahead of me, whatever.
I had it, yeah.
So yeah, 1 p.m. my time. I have a girl named Malia Pakulan. She fought in April. She's coming back for the October 21st show for Airtight Boxing. So I'm excited to talk to her. Fighting in Denver. Then at 2, I have Sonia Gallegos Drilling. She is fighting in one of two of the first ever bare knuckle women bouts in the UK for BYB Extreme. So I'm really excited to talk to her. That she is one of four women who are literally changing fucking bare knuckle history right now. So this is epic. I'm super fucking excited to talk to her. I plan to talk to all four of these ladies, by the way. Just if I haven't DM'd you yet, just know it's coming. Um, these girls are making history. These four that are, it would have been Paige and Charissa, but that fight was canceled, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So Now it's these girls, and there's even a title on that BYB card. So I'm gonna talk to all four of them. But Monday it's gonna be Malia Paculon, Sonia Gallegos drilling, and then Carice Brown. She is a badass. Holy shit. She's going back to Mexico. I'm pretty sure there's titles on the line. Holy shit, she's a badass. Three different interviews on Monday lined up. Again, Tuesday's my daughter's birthday, so I'm taking that day off to wrap presents, get all the shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Get it all together. Go have lunch at the school. Do all of the the mom stuff and whatnot. And then I'll be back probably. Currently, right now, I have Courtney Cameron scheduled for that Saturday night, but I'm gonna have to reschedule her. That's my time crunch is just gonna be too much with having the birthday party on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to reschedule her. Hopefully, she can do that Sunday. Courtney, if you're watching, I love you. So anyway, so I'll be back though probably that Sunday night ish, and go from there. I also have a female boxing coach here out of Denver lined up for that following Monday too. So a lot of really awesome women uh, that are always going to be in and around Brawling Babes with Brittany. I do have a couple of male interviews that are posted up on the Facebook page. I've entertained two of them. I don't discriminate against the men as they have done the women over the years. However, I'm not going to seek them. If they want to come to me and ask me for a show, I won't say no. You know what I'm saying? So I will entertain male guests, but I am a female focused show.
And hey, I'm gonna tell you this though, as far as the interview with Courtney, I'm gonna tell you that you will love her. She's a phenomenal one, and I will tell you this though, she has a huge love for Motionless in White. So if you get a chance to interview her, you tell her that Jake from the Fight Now says hi, and pretty much just tell her that I love her and thankful for her.
So, fun
Um,
fact, Courtney is a very good friend of mine. She used to live in my basement. I know her two kids. They're great people. I love Courtney Cameron. I've watched her through her amateur career. I've helped her through weight cuts. She's a beautiful soul, beautiful individual. She has been through hell and high water and beyond, and has come out to be the headhunter she is. And I am excited to see her bare knuckle debut, her professional debut in her hometown of Denver, Colorado for the BKFC on October 15th. I will be there. I'm hopefully going to get media passes. If I don't, I'm still getting tickets. I'm going to be there no matter what. You going to see the face of the asshole bare knuckle world.
exactly, exactly. To all the bare knuckle haters out there that's watching, for y'all, for
Yep.
y'all. I hope I'm doing this right, but either way, though. But no, the one thing I got to tell you before you hop off here is that I am so honored to get a chance to have you here. I am so honored to get a chance to talk to you. We had such a great time. I am so proud of you for not only to get a chance to become the interviewer because you are a strong mother, an amazing badass ring announcer, and you're just killing it. And I gotta tell you, it is my honor to get a chance to have you a part of this. Hopefully, get a chance to do some more of this very soon in the near future. Maybe get a chance to do work on some stuff together. I would love to get a chance to work with you because I admire the heart, I admire the passion, I admire everything you do. Once again, guys, and I'm gonna post this the last time. Go hype this girl up. Go hype her up. Badass that can kick ass. Not afraid to get a chance to hype you up in the ring announcing. She's super cool, and you guys heard everything that we talked about. You guys know the goals on her one to get a chance to become a ring announcer, commentator for Invicta or even UFC, but hopefully Invicta as well. And I really do I really hope that you get a chance to achieve all your dreams because myself, all the ladies that I will be watching this are going to be rooting for you. We believe in you, kick ass, and the only thing is that I do this to all my interviews, but I'm not worthy right now. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Thank
But
you.
But
Thank
do you
you.
have?
It's I can't thank you enough for your time, for me to have the time and the privilege to utilize your platform, that you've worked really hard to grow and create. You're doing a phenomenal job for the females in combat sports, and I want you to know that as well. Like, there's going to be more haters in the world than there is fans, unfortunately. And um it's a lot harder to see the light at the end of the tunnel sometimes,
Yeah.
but never lose faith in what you're doing, because you're doing it right.
100%. And, I definitely got to say this to anyone who has supported the page, on the Fighting Now. I appreciate you guys, all the fighters who I've got a chance to sponsor. I mean, the best is yet to come. I mean, like I said before, there's going to be a couple of haters. There's going to be a couple of step backs here and there. But, it's about the platform that myself and you make, is that we do this for the love, for the female fighters, for this community. Don't get me wrong, to all to the male athletes, to all the male fighters. But to
Y'all are
me,
cool too, but make way. The bitches are coming.
I mean, the bitches are coming. I mean, you're not invited to the popular table at the moment, type of school vibes, type of shit. No, but in all seriousness, though, is that it means a lot. Means a lot to me to get a chance to hear that from you because, we've known each other for about maybe a week or two ever since I followed you, and I seen the ring announcement that you're doing. I was like, okay, I seen that she's doing podcasts. I said, I wonder how would she feel if she gets a chance to interview, if I would get a chance to interview and to show her, hey, like, you deserve to be interviewed. You deserve to have your story shared, just like the rest of the fighters and all the interviews that I get a chance to do. So your stories have really, really inspired me, and I am just so blown away by the person you are. So go out there, go kick ass on October 21st,
Thank
and
you.
let me know how everything goes. Keep me up to date, and a special happy early birthday to your daughter. I know she's
Thank you.
excited for that as well.
Thank you. I'm gonna go screen record that and send that to her, and she'll be so tickled.
Well, hey, so before we hop off here, any final thoughts, any final comments you want to say?
I excuse me. I do want to thank my entire support system, my team, my family, my husband Tim, and my children Mila and Paula. Thank you guys for putting up with mommy, um, and all of this craziness. Uh, Dave Trujillo and the All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports channel. Thank you for the platform. Um, Steve Mestis and Airtight Boxing. Thank you for the opportunity to grow in my ring announcing career each and every time. Um, I also need to thank Den City Plumbing and Construction. If you're in the Denver metro area, hit them up. The numbers and information is all over my social media pages. I can get it to you directly. Just shoot me a DM. Also, HKA USA, if you're a fighter and you need new gloves, mitts, headgear, if you have an upcoming fight and you need your fight night gear helped customized and designed, hit up Nick Sampson, hkausa.com. And then last but not least, where you can get official Brawling Babes with Brittany merchandise and Just Blazed clothing merchandise is at justblazedclothing.com. Use code Team Blazed for 10% off. Man, that's a fucking mouthful, but I thank every single one of them, because without the team, it would just be a dream.
Exactly. And I think I'm gonna have to get me a shirt come next payday. So I definitely have to get a shirt. Make sure you guys get a chance to get her merchandise. Go support her. Go show some love. Like she said, to everything she talked about, look them up because I know they'll definitely be appreciated for all the support and all the work that they're putting in. So make sure you guys check them out. Go follow Miss Brittany. Brittany, thank you so much for the interview. I am so proud of you. Thank you so much. You are the best. Keep killing it. Keep slaying it like the queen that you are. Definitely talk to you after this interview, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Later, girl.
Bye.
That was Miss Brittany. Thank you so much for her to get a chance to join. Thank you to all of you to get a chance to take your time out of your busy night, day, whatever time it is for y'all right now. But thank you so much for watching this. I am Jake representing the Fighting Now saying so long, and we'll see you guys next time.